Hi, it's Lee from coloringqueen.net, and today I've got Lulu's House of Wonder coloring book. This is the extended review where I test out mediums and give a bit more commentary on the book. If you just want to fast flip through, see the link below. So this is Lulu's first big size coloring book. You can see it up against her usual books for the Million series of coloring books. And this one is quite a bit bigger. It's like about an inch and a half bigger than the Million series, and about half an inch at the top. You can see it up against Joanna Basford's coloring book there. And for an idea of sizing, you can see it up against all of those books there. So it's quite a bit thicker. And the reason for that is that normally Lulu's books are double-sided printing, whereas this one is single-sided printing. So that's new. The other new thing is, of course, that this is her first book that doesn't incorporate the Million series with a million bears, etc. So we start out as an intro. And we've got colour printing in this book as well, just on the back pages, not on the line art. We've got a little introduction that tells you about this magical house where when she's happy, she turns into an otter. Same strange choice for me, but anyway. And when she touches water, she becomes a mermaid. And there's all these creatures. Of course, there's all the animals that she's well known for. Now, the book is really well put together. It's got like a flat lay binding on it. So even though images come close here on the front page, this folds down super easy. There's dark line art, which is really easy to see. And on these back pages, they've all been coloured, little animals and whatnot. But that's really just your back page. You can pop a picture in between them, use markers, etc. And we'll see how they go in a minute. Now, the line art is beautiful. It's really crisp and clear. We've got all of the gorgeous little creatures, her, and it's just so different from her other coloring books, but still similar because we've got the cute animals, the cute little ghosts and things like that that she normally incorporates. There's 40 illustrations in this 96-page book. Isn't this adorable? It's just so cute. Now, we've seen images like this before, but we've never sort of seen them incorporated in this way and on the single-sided paper and the bigger images. And we've got this cute little girl that's throughout, that's Lulu. It kind of looks like Lulu. There's so many cute images. I was looking through it last night thinking, ooh, which one to colour first? And it's just so hard to decide. It really is. And we've seen all of these sorts of styles of artwork before, but as I said, never incorporated in this sort of layout and scenery. So very, very cute. I love the tea party ones because they've got lots of detail and they're really interesting. And these are super cute as well. Lots of strawberries here, little gorgeous fairy house. So it seems like a pretty cool house to stay in. Now the paper is great. It's white, it's smooth, and it's definitely a medium quality, and it's very sturdy. So I'll be interested to see how it performs with the different mediums that I'm going to put on it. But isn't this gorgeous? She's sewing away. We've got little creatures holding cotton, and there is just so many little things to look at in the artwork. It's just really, really detailed. And lots of large open elements for those of us that don't like too much detail as well. So this is the cover art that's been included as a page for you to colour. And now she's playing the guitar. I actually don't usually like wallpaper images, but this portrait gallery is really cute. And we've got the rocking horse. And I mean, really, you just want to go to this place, don't you? I mean, you got your giraffe, your nutcracker, your double-decker bus. It's so cute. Little carousel. I would have preferred more horsies, or more unicorns, but it's a music box, not a carousel. And we've got so many cute little images here. This one can be cute for Halloween because we've got the pumpkins and whatnot. And this one, nice circular style image. I like the teapots. I really like the whole thing. In some ways, I'm kind of disappointed that there's no double page spread, but I think because the pages are bigger, uh, it gives you an opportunity for more mediums. So I'll get over the double page spread, I think, for that. There's gorgeous snow globe here. And we've got pre-printed black there. And little fairy is telling her a secret. Probably that there's a ghost in the house. Who knows? And the cat looks like it's got a blanket, a sheet over it to pretend to be a ghost in that one. I don't know what's going on there. But so many cute little things, so many things to look at. There's that fairy again, she's back. Lots of pictures there that you could do a background on as well. But she's got enough perfume bottles to sink a battleship. And favorite little unicorn, so lots of techniques that you could do with that. Add some glitter if you wanted to. And I like this. This is adorable. Cute little lamps. Gorgeous bubble bath scene here. And she's turned into a mermaid, as it said in the foreword. And I love this bed scene as well. Just so cute, reading a bedtime story. And our little fairy is back again. This is one of my favourite pictures. And I love this detail of the patchwork quilt, and there's so much going on. I love how this little one's curling up to her and little toy there. So adorable. Probably because I'm watching Millie in the same pose at the moment, having a sleep. So gorgeous illustrations, some of them more full scene, some with opportunity for you to add your own background or not, or whatever you might think. Very, very cute, simple, easy to see the lines. So most of them are pretty good if you have trouble with your eyesight. Some of them have a lot more detail than others. And I do like that they've gone to the extra expense of using the color printing on the back there. They're kind of adorable. I wouldn't color them personally, but they're pretty cute, and all the different colors would have cost a lot more to set up a print run for, but really cute. And this is gorgeous. I love this tree filled with all the little birds. And the liner is really nice and crisp. So very, very pretty. I love the full page scenes. They're gorgeous. I don't know. Don't know which one to color. No idea. And this is gorgeous as well. I guess maybe once I test out the mediums, it'll become clearer. And here's a little bit about Lulu. She's had 26 books translated and sold into 20 different territories. Ooh, that's a lot of books. And we've got our copyright page at the end and our cover. Got like a decal type here on the back. It's got like a really glossy, smooth finish to it, which is the same on the front. These characters have this it's a really glossy feel to them, whereas some are just like the matte feel of the book. So, very cute. Let's test out some mediums. Okay, I've got a piece of paper in behind because I'm worried, but it's only very thin. But anyway, let's test out these mediums. I've got a Copic marker, which is an alcohol-based marker. Normally, this will go through the paper. So we'll let that dry and we'll see. Now I've got a Tombow marker, which is a water-based marker. Normally these are okay, they might shadow on the paper. So we'll see how it goes. Now you can add water to that as well. So we'll just do a little line under it and add a bit of water. To see if that causes any damage on the paper. Now we'll use the Inktense pencils. Now these are ink-based pigment and they're soluble in water. So we'll might put that on pretty intensely. There, add another color. Why not? And dissolve it in a bit of water. Now I've got the Caran d'Ache Neocolor too. Now these are water-soluble crayons. And we can put it directly down onto the paper. Dissolve it in some water. So there are our wet mediums. We'll let those dry, see how they go. And let's go on to our pencils. So we'll start off with the Prismacolor. Got 3 colors here to blend out. And I'll just zoom you in a bit more. Now my color choice was pretty awful in reflection, on reflection. But the pencils are going really smoothly on the paper. Now there is a tooth to the paper that I didn't initially notice, and I put these colors in the wrong order now. But there is a slight tooth, but just even providing a little bit of pressure, and my apologies, I mucked up the order of that blend there. But I'm just going on with a little bit more pressure here, and the very fine tooth of this paper is just really easily pressing down. Now, I could probably do another layer here as well if I wanted, and it's very easy to go on this paper. It's blending out really smoothly. Let's try the Polychromos, and it's going on very easily. The polys are oil-based, so they always seem to be pretty smooth when you put them down. Just going to... The paper is pushing down very easily. Now, I do feel like I have to work a little bit harder with them, just as far as my hand goes, probably because I'm so used to the incredible softness of the Prismacolor. And so that's probably operation error. But they do go on very nice. We're coming in here doing a second layer. Now, with polys, you can usually press a bit harder. I'm going to press hard here. And you can usually do less work with the Prismacolor. So, coming back for a second go, and they really are crushing down that fine tooth on the paper very, very easily. But I do find that I am pressing harder than I normally would with my Prismacolors because I'm probably not used to the pencil. That they are easy to use. I still think the Prismacolor's got the better vibrancy, even though that was a terrible color selection on my part. So let's try the Colleens. These are one of my favorite low budget pencil. If you're in Asian countries and South Africa, they're pretty easy to get. Um, Not so much for other places in the world. Now, I'm just going to use 2 colors because I think I've selected a pretty horrid color there. And pushing down, very easy. They're a very soft pencil. They're a budget pencil, but they are really lovely to work with. So going in harder now on the second go around. They're pushing down the tooth easily. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with them. Now, let's go to the Crayolas. You can do a lot of great things with Crayolas. Now, these are just student grade pencils, so they don't have as much pigment as the other artist pencils, but they're still good. And if you like using Prismacolors, I often say if you put down Crayola first, you can use your Prismacolors for longer over them because it's sort of the harder pencil. Makes it easier without the Prismacolors getting so waxy. Now, these colors are very similar. They're going on smoothly. There's not as much pigment as you would like. But we'll try again and go on a second round of going harder this time. And I'm not pressing so hard that it's actually hurting, but I am pressing a little bit harder than on my first row, and we can even go in even harder, like I've just drawn a little arc there. Not as much color coming out, but there's still a nice little pencil, and I think you can still do lots of fun things with them. And they are pushing down that tooth on the paper, so they're still pretty good. Let's try the Black Widow. So I've got a few here in the blues. This is going on super smooth. It's going on so smooth that I'm worried it might fall off the paper. No, it's just really, really smooth. Going with another color here, and it's just gliding on. And the third color again, you're just getting that gliding feel. Going in darker and just with a bit more pressure, you can really just amazingly get so much pigment down just with a tad more pressure. I wouldn't want to press too hard. I feel like I'd lose control of them. Now they are flattening down the tooth, but probably not as much as I would like at this stage, which means that they have to press harder, apply more pressure, or do more layers. It's a nice color coming up on them. Now, I could just use a blending agent if I didn't want to do the extra layer, but we'll just see. We'll go one more just to try and get these little white dots out, which you might not see it on camera, but I can see close up. And I have to say, as far as ease on your hand to go on, these ones are great, but as far as pushing down the tooth, I'll show you in a minute, they haven't pushed down as much as, say, the Prismacolor, the Polys, or the Colleen, but they are so easy to use. They're just gliding on. Now we'll just do the Holbeins. Now they're going on pretty smoothly, as you would expect from the Holbeins. This is from the little set of 12 pastels. I don't feel like they're blending out as well as the other colours, pressing harder here on the second round, and the tooth is flattening down. But I feel like, as with the polys, they are a little bit harder work, but on this second go, they do flatten down and they're easier to work with. So let's have a look. First of all, let's check out this wet mediums. So let's turn the page over and see what the damage is. Okay. So your Copic markers, which are the first ones there, will bleed through to the other side. Now that's okay because you've got this printed pattern on there. But if you're going to use alcohol markers, make sure you have a couple of pieces of paper or card in between the pages, because it is going to bleed through. Now you can see the other wet media, there's absolutely nothing there. No ghosting, no filling, no ghosting or pilling on the front. So happy with those wet mediums in this book. I would just put a piece of paper behind if you're going to use them anyway, because depending on how much water you like to use with your colouring, you might get some ghosting. Now, with the pencils, my favourite would have to be the Prismacolors, probably followed by the Colleens, the Polychromos, the Black Widows, and yeah, Evens. Even Stevens for those, I really think. Prismacolors and Colleens would be my favourite. Now, I do love a wax-based pencil, so, there's obviously a bit of bias there. But you can see that the Prismacolor is the more vibrant, even with my horrid selection of colours, and that the tooth was really easy to get rid of. Whereas with the Black Widow, if you have a look, see these little bits of tooth that just didn't press down? But I do love the vibrancy of them, and they were so easy to use, they just glided. So maybe a little bit more working out how to use them better to get a better result. Now, the Holbeins were great on the second layer, but on the first, I felt they were a bit of hard work. And the Crayola is what you expected. They push down the tooth, and they're pretty good. And, same with the Polychromos. They're a great pencil. And on the second layer, got much better result and didn't have to work so hard. So that's it for the review of Lulu's House of Wonder. So that's it from me. Until next time, stay safe and happy colouring.